Hey guys, it's Donrobertin here for another Let's Play, and I'm back to Minecraft. That's right, back to Minecraft. So as you can see, I'm starting from scratch here. It's a new server, different one than the one I played on previously, so unfortunately that one is no longer around. But let's have no worries. It was a good time while we were there, but we're moving on to new and better things. We're on the server with a couple of people, so it's not just me. It's a multiplayer environment, but we're going to do something a little bit different, I think. What I'm going to do is obviously get some wood. Getting wood in Minecraft, so starting all over again. It's been a while since I played Minecraft, that's for sure, but it's good to be back. I mean, I had a little time where I wasn't that happy with Minecraft, but I think that's past now. I'm starting to get a little bit of enjoyment back again. And I managed to crash my Minecraft there, so that was good going. But yeah, no, as I was saying, you know, everything is sort of back on track. I've got a good idea of what we're going to do. So rather than go adventuring too much, what I'm going to do is just do something really simple, and we're going to do a nice little bit of scenery, because it gives a little chance for me to talk to you guys and, you know, the people listening here. If you're new to the channel, by the way, welcome. I'm not putting out content as regularly as maybe some of the other guys, but I do unfortunately have a job, so I'm not making my living from YouTube. This is purely a hobby sort of thing. So, you know, when I play games on the PC, I like to record them, add a little bit of commentary to them, and, you know, it makes it a little bit more enjoyable, gives it a bit more, a bit of difference to the game, that's for sure. So, what we're doing at the moment, as I say, gathering some lovely wood. I think this will be enough once I get this tree down. And there's nobody online at the moment except for myself, which is a bit of a shame, but what can you do? Where was I gonna go? I was gonna go over here, that's what I was gonna do. The first thing I'm gonna do, because the sun is actually setting, as we can tell by the nighttime song, we are going to need to secure ourselves a little hole. So that's what I'm going to do up here. Let's have a little bit of a nighttime spot where I can just hide. And thank you, server, for saving the world once again. Ooh. Don't worry, this is only temporary. I keep doing that. I'm used to playing other games where there's a nice little strafe button. What am I gonna do? Actually, to be honest, what I should do is go back into the village for the evening. We better make this sharpish. Should probably get rid of all that so the mobs don't come in, all the zombies and stuff. Okay, so there's a couple of houses. There's only a couple of people in the server for now. TBC, well, it's probably some kind of building. Anyway, there's a couple of people in the server, but not too many. You know it. Oh no, there's a baby zombie. I heard him. Is he underground? Maybe? Let's get in here. This is like my little hidey hole. We've got a furnace and some stuff already, which is quite handy. Let's just make these into planks. We're gonna try and remember how to do everything. As I say, it's been a while since I played. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to this again. But is that not how you do it? Oh, have I just ruined it now, haven't I? Oh well, what I'll do is use the crafting bench and we'll make ourselves some nice little wooden picks. We'll get 2 of them going. That way we can mine a little bit of stone. As you can see, my thing had to reset. But no worries. No worries. So yeah, what's been going on here? Well, quite a lot actually. You know, I haven't been doing these for some time. I used to do them quite regularly. But unfortunately I had to stop. Purely because I was moving house. There was a lot going on at the time, and I'm sure a few people know that you know, when you move house, it can be quite stressful. And obviously, when you move to a new place, sometimes you don't get the internet that you wanted, which is a little bit of a shame. But yeah, so when I moved house originally, I didn't have the best of internets, and it pretty much made the whole uploading thing pretty much pointless, because the upload thing was very, very low. But you know, it got better. We got a nice new line upgraded and all the rest of it, so it's all hunky dory, as it were. And as well, there's a lot of life events have been going on for me, as well. It's been very kind of taxing and stressful at work, but you know, a lot of it is doing very well actually. And I do realize I'm saying quite a lot, but there I go again. Oh well, I'll pick up speed once I get used to this again. That's for sure. A lot of my old subscribers will know that I used to have Minecraft episodes quite a lot. We used to build quite a lot of different fun things. But a lot of people have left. A lot of people I used to play Minecraft with no longer play Minecraft. And this is a server that I kind of set up with a friend of mine. We're just playing through it at the moment. Yeah, it's not going too bad. But let's see what else has been going on. Quite a lot actually. We've got quite a lot of stone now, so we don't need any more stone for now. So we're back up here. Yeah, you know, a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, I kind of you know, needed to talk a little bit about some of the stuff I've been going through as well. I mean, it's unfortunately not been all, you know, candy and sugar and spice and all things nice. But, I mean, it's still been going good. Don't get me wrong. It's not going downhill. But it would be nice to have little... What's that there? Little dog. Woof woof. Yes, it's me. It's me. What else have I gotta have? I need to get some food. So while we're in the old area, we'll just steal some wheat. And get some nice bread. Oh. Don't see me, spider. Spider, no. Go back in my house. We'll make a sword. That's what we'll do. So yeah, so one of the things as well, I had a few problems here and there, but luckily nothing I can't solve. And you know, it's been really weird for me, because it's kind of reminded me of the past, where there was a lot of kind of different things going on, you know, and I wanted to do loads of different things. Like when I was younger, I remember one of the things I wanted to do was become a football referee, because I was watching the football, and I never had a strong affiliation with a particular team. No, there's teams I support, mainly for, I think the sounds are a bit loud. I'm gonna turn this down. Sound just down a little bit. There we go. So yeah, I mean, like I had some teams that I would affiliate myself with, but I mean nothing would be. Damn it. It would kind of be something where I would sort of look at the different teams, and I would always kind of want the best team to win. I never would go out my way to think, one team was better than the other and all the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, that was the stuff as well. I was watching, I always like sport. So the other day I was watching some football. It was just some kind of training thing, some of the highlights from there. And it looked, it was really good. But as well, I kind of wanted... Ooh, zombie. But again, it was kind of like, I was looking at it from a non-biased perspective, which made it a little bit tough. Because, everyone's all like, oh, you gotta support a team and everything else. But I was never kind of like that. And the same goes with most sports, really. I suppose that's why I can kind of get into sports quite quickly. When I look at how quickly I got into, say, the ice hockey. I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan. Go Habs. But again, like I could still watch different games, and some games I wouldn't enjoy as much as others, obviously. But oh god. Can't do. But again, I could still watch it and enjoy the game for what it actually is, and get along with people. So like, I'd rock up to whatever, and they'd be supporting some team, but I'd be able to integrate into them. I thought that was pretty good. And then the go, perhaps crashed again. So as I was saying, like, I mean, it's something that I find quite good. Yeah. I have a feeling zombies are going to be after me for quite some time. What we're going to do is we're going to mark out a little bit of a perimeter, and then continue on with little stories. So that was my little story about sports and how I kind of got into it. Well, I guess getting into it, it's one of those things, isn't it? As a kid, like you kind of pick up on stuff that you see around you. So a lot of the time, sports would be on in the house. So that would be obviously something that I would watch. It would just be like sport. And yeah, I mean, it was just, that's what we did, sports. But I suppose that kind of got me into sports as well, is just watching, in the UK, we had this thing called Grandstand, which would kind of just sum up the sports and bring you the scores as they came in and everything else, and that was quite fun to watch. But I mean, it came with its troubling times, because for me, Grandstand was on a Sunday, so it was always kind of tough for me, because I knew that when Grandstand was coming on at like 1 o'clock or so, that either my dad would have to go home, because in sort of early memories I remember I had to basically leave. So like on the Sundays and that, The weekends I was basically living with my aunt, and it was a little bit tough for me, looking back on it, and trying to deal with that situation where I wouldn't be around my dad all the time, and it was pretty tough, that's for sure, because like it's hard to describe, really. I mean, if you haven't been through it, it is a little bit challenging to kind of wrap your head around, because you're kind of thinking, well, I've never had that situation. By the way, if you see the recording suddenly jump, that's because I've had to restart Frap, so try and ignore it for now, because that's what I'll try and do. I've gone too far, good job. But yeah, like I went through this period where my dad was living in England. We were working away because that's where he could get a job, and I was living up in Scotland, and the reason for that was because my dad couldn't get me into school, as far as I could see. Like, he could get because it was in the transition year, so that was between primary school and high school. So I had that to kind of deal with, and that was a little bit challenging. But, you get through it, don't you? Okay, this is good. I should have made some torches, but what I'll do now, make a little crafting bench. Yeah. Okay. Because what we'll do is we'll make stairs all around the outside, sort of going down, slowly winding back and around. So we can start off here. That's where we go down. And what we'll do as well, we'll make a little furnace. Can't make that in there, we make it in here. So I mean, some people say it was a tough time for me, and it truly was. I mean, looking back on it, it was challenging, to say the least. Yeah, I could build that. And, it's something I hope nobody ever has to experience, for sure. Because it was really difficult for me to handle. And, that wasn't the fault of my aunt or anything else. And, to be honest, she did really well for me. Because, she took care of me and, fed me, clothed me, made sure I had a roof over my head and everything else. And unfortunately at the time, I was very, how should we put this, rebellious. I'm not proud of it. If I could go back in time and change anything, I would change that, for sure. It's not something I'm proud of for doing. But I got past it, Can we make a stone shovel? Because that would be awesome. Is it like this? Yeah, okay. So we could do a stone shovel. That'll make things a little bit quicker. So yeah, I mean, that was just, again, something I was really not proud with. And, if I could go back in time and change that, I would. No hesitation. At all. But, it was just sadly one of those things. if I could go back in time, as I say, I would change it. There's a lot of things that, in my past I'm not very proud of, but I feel that if I didn't go through it, I wouldn't be the person I would be today. So it's kind of one of those catch-22s, you never really know. But I do apologize to everyone that I hurt during that. Some people, obviously it's hard to apologize for, because the people I went to primary school with, I have no idea. I moved around so much when I was young that I haven't kept in contact with anybody from primary school days. That's not a bad thing, I guess. It's just one of those things that's a little bit different from other people. But hey ho. What else is I guess, we can sort of analyze my childhood quite a lot. I'm sure a psychologist would love to analyze my childhood and everything else. There's not many memories of it, actually, that are decent. That's pretty depressing, I know. Let me try and keep it lively. Like today, or recently, things have been going on quite well. Roof over my head, money coming in, and everything else. But as a child, as I say, I moved around a lot. You wouldn't have guessed from the accent, but was born in Scotland, and did live there for extended periods of time. But is kind of haven't kept the accent at all, really. So born in Scotland, and then I moved to Spain. Moved to Barcelona first, actually. I lived in Barcelona and Madrid, and that was, again, it was my dad. He worked his ass off to provide money and all the stuff that I could want, all the stuff that I could need, rather. Because I remember some bits when we finally settled down, and I was starting to go to secondary school and that. I know there was times where I'd kind of want stuff, and he would be like, well, you don't actually need it. And to this day, I still buy stuff that I don't actually need. That's beside the point, really. I suppose everybody does it, really, don't they? They just kind of buy. But yeah, I moved around a lot. So I went to Barcelona, then went to Madrid. Lived there for a number of years. Then moved to England. And I think that's where I started going between England and Scotland quite a lot. I know, for instance, I think it was, I moved to England first, then to Scotland, and then it was after that, I think, was the time when my dad and my brother were down in England, and I was kind of up in Scotland because there was no school to go to where my dad was for me, so it was kind of like this is what you gotta do. And my aunt, thank her for it, but I don't think I ever actually said thank you to her face. If she's watching this, thank you very much for that time. I know I didn't show my appreciation, and for that I can only apologize. But that was kind of a very rebellious phase of my life. Even then, I was living with my dad and my brother. up in Scotland, and I was still like, to coin the phrase, a little shit. Yeah, very kind of, well, what's the word? Tumultuous? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, turbulent. That's the one. I had a very turbulent childhood. Like, it wasn't kind of like one of these things you see in movies where I was kind of like, doing drugs by age 10 or something. It wasn't that extreme. It was just kind of very emotional. It was very, very tough, very challenging to deal with. I run out of picks already. Should probably make a whole inventory of stone ones. Just make a chest up the top. That's what I'll do. If you can hear a noise in the background, that's just my mini fridge. Just ignore that. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Okay, so I think now I kind of want to go. Actually, I wanted to do that in there, so do this, do that. So that way I can plan it off. I need to. This is where it's gonna start going in here. Now I'm gonna do it on the edge of the pit that I'm gonna make. Yeah, I mean, it was tricky. That's for sure. Very tricky. Can I do that though? Yeah, that's. Okay, so spiders can get in. Great, I'll fix that later. But yeah, I mean, it's, as I say, it's hard to talk about sometimes. It's not a chapter of my life I'm most proud about. But yeah, like I was doing a lot. I mean, you can imagine it. Like you live a couple of years when you're a child, and you're away from your dad and your brother and that, and they used to, come up and see me, and on the odd occasion, and mostly I would kind of go down and, go down to their house, and it was always that Sunday. Trans World Sport comes on, Grandstand comes on, and like, I knew that the time was coming. Drop the bow, drop the bow. Didn't drop the bow. I knew the time was coming, and it was, God, another one? I evidently did not make this mob proof, but that's fine. But yeah, like that Sunday feeling, I mean, some people will probably get that now, where they kind of go to work and they start to worry they kind of like have to go back and whatnot. It was the same thing for me, and it was tough. It was tough for sure. But anyway, that's enough. As I say, it's kind of led me to the person I was today. Now, I realise I've been talking for quite a long time, so I'm going to wrap up this episode here. I do apologise for the line breaks and for the little bit of a sad topic. But I hope you enjoyed the episode anyway, and hearing my stories. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope to see you again in the next episode, or in the next LP that I decide to do. Bye bye.